Hey everyone, it's Mark, your firefighter, realtor, and out-of-state investor. And today I have an amazing guest on. He's kind of known as the man, the myth, the legend in the circles we run with. But I'd like to introduce Dung Thai to my channel.
Hey, what's up, man? What's up, everybody?
I know. I'm glad I finally caught you. I know you're in demand. We have to cancel. You're working on a deal the other night, but I got you here on a Friday night. But why don't you tell my audience a little about your portfolio and your background and how you got started?
Yeah, so nothing better to do than talk about real estate on a Friday night, bro. I'm telling you right now. Okay, I'm more interested in this than any party that invite me because those conversations are dull and boring, and a lot of times they don't know what they're talking about. I'd rather be here talking to you guys and you on about real estate because you gotta get it. So I started this journey 4 years ago as a wholesaler, right? Wholesaling real estate, and that was good money. And then about 2 years ago, like end of 2020, I have the opportunity to buy 5 properties from a seller, and he broke it down. We had like a 2 hour conversation. We were talking about one of his property, and also he bring up the other four because we have such a good conversation. And he set a price that that was a pre 2020 price at 40,000 a piece, and I went up there, take a look at the property and I look at the area and I look at the renter. I'm like, wow, this is pretty good. 40,000 a property, and the one is a duplex for $40,000. That's $20,000 a unit, and they could rent out 750 each. So that's $1,500 on a $40,000. I'm like, the number makes sense, and that's how it started. And now, I do the strategy, the bullish strategies on steroids. I'm at 67 unit. I closed on my 67 back in I think 2 weeks ago in Binghamton. I posted on my Instagram, it was a $46,000 cash deal. The old gentleman, really wanted 50, 46. He wouldn't go lower. I made him I made him fight for that 46, he was at 60. But yeah, I had a home money lender, private lender, do it, and he funded the whole thing. And 4 months from now, we're gonna refinance, and it's gonna appraise for like 125. So, it's the strategy I always do. That's how I get started.
I love it. I love it. So, we were talking off camera a little earlier, but I kind of want to go back a little bit more, and maybe you're able to kind of talk about it a little bit. But what put you on this path? Was there some sort of event that maybe kind of put you down this wholesaling and real estate journey that kind of changed your life, I guess?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So 2018, December 21, 3 days before Christmas, I was in the office with my manager and my division manager. I thought I was getting a raise. No, I wasn't. I knew something was up. Yeah, and have HR sitting right across from you. When HR doesn't sit next to you, you know there's a problem. HR right next in the middle between the manager and the division manager in front of you. All right, just imagine that in front of you, three of them talking to you, and they let me go. They told me, I buy tools for the mechanic without their authorization, and it was like a $84,000 job with bonus. We went to like 104, 102 with a stock bonus. I was devastated, man. Went home that day, you know, thinking to myself, what did I do wrong? How this happened? I shouldn't have done that, blah, blah. All that stuff that happened in your head, depressing mode. And throughout Christmas and New Year, I was like on, like gloom and doom. And I did want to try to get some more, some more other job as supervisor, Costco, BJ's, and this heating company in the Bronx. And I got an interview with them up in the Bronx. And the funny thing is, the guy liked me. He told me he can only give me 75 a year instead of 84. I was like, I don't care. I need the money. I need a job. He can't. He told me he would let me know that a couple of days. Couple of days went by. He never come back to me. I was like, all right, he's gone. He doesn't want my money. I tried calling him. He never picked up. So I went to do my life insurance thingy. I like, you know what? Maybe I can sell life insurance. Started life insurance. Got the got the certificate. You know, after a week of training and a week of studying, and he called me back. The heating guy called me back, and I'm like, dude, it's too late. I'm already took another job. He's like, oh man, I'm sorry, dude. You know, I should have listened to myself and not my partner. You know, my partner was like, they were nervous of hiring you because they didn't know who you are and how why you got let go of UPS and everything. And I'm like, I told you why I got let go of UPS. I don't lie. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah. They were afraid you're gonna do the same thing there. And okay. I mean, everything happened for a reason, I told him, He's like, oh, what are you gonna do now? I'm like, well, I'm gonna sell life insurance. He's like, what? Really? Come on. I'm like, sorry, man. Have you called me that night or the 2 days afterward? I would take that job. You know what I'm saying? And my life would have been so much different had he called me 2 days later. And it was like he promised me. You know what I'm saying? But everything happened for a reason. So I tried out that life insurance thingy. I'm like, no, this is not for me. This is a salesman job. You gotta lie to people, man. Like literally, those life insurance guy. Oh my god, dude. The whole life and term life is crazy. I'm like, you know what? No, this is not for me. So back home, watch YouTube. I was like looking to stocks and looking to real estate. At first I bought a book about stocks. And then I saw this guy, named Phil Puziaski from Freedom Mentor put on his YouTube video that you can buy real estate without any money down. I was like, how is that possible? Because all my life, my parents, my elders, everybody telling me save money to buy a house, put a down payment on it, everything. And I'm like, yeah, that's the tradition. How is this guy doing this? Watch Chewy's video, and I'm like, you know what? Let's see what happens. Call him up, interviewed by 3 people. On the third phone call, he told me it was $25,000 to join the program. And that was when I'm like, oof, $25,000. I told him, can I think about it and I'll call you back tomorrow. And so they make the appointment tomorrow. That night, I never forget. It was like probably 2, 3 in the morning in the corner of my room, dark room, by myself. I sit up and I'm like thinking to myself, what's the worst that could happen? You know what I'm saying? I lose 25,000. Okay. What else could happen? I learn real estate. Okay. That's enough for me. Let's learn real estate. It's always been in the back of my mind. I need to learn real estate. It's like a calling. And like I say, everything happened for a reason. I'm losing my job, missing the second job, the life insurance. It led me to this point. I didn't know back then, but thinking in retrospect, it was everything happened for a reason for me. And that's how I got started. I joined the program, put massive money in my credit card debt, sold all my UPS stocks, and never a moment in my journey that when I started that I think I would give up. Never. There were so many people telling me not to do it. Just go get a job. My parents, my brothers, my sisters, people around me, my friends, they all think it was a scam. They all thought it was a scam. And I was the only guy dumb enough to join. you know? And here I am today, right?
Yeah,
You know?
so what I also heard too was, in the beginning, you said you were probably making, 6 figures, good paying job. So did you have this huge savings built up when you started?
No. It was month to month paycheck. Even at $7,000 a month. After tax, it was like 49, no, 4,500, right? And the 401k, whatever it is, it went down to like 4,100, right? My mortgage was like 33,000. Yeah, 3,000, my mortgage, right? On top of that, electricity, gas, food. I was in negative every month. I would just, hey, get paid from Peter and pay Paul. That's all I did. You know what I'm saying?
No, hey, trust
And
me.
yeah,
Yeah, I bet. Did you realize it at the time that, you were thinking you were making good money, but like you're saying, you were in the negative every month. Did you ever really
every month.
did you kind of realize that back then though, or did it take this
No,
whole,
no, I was
yeah.
living on the lie, man. I was lying to myself. Like, you know what? This will get better. This will get better. I'll get a raise. You know what I'm saying? And the stocks, maybe I'll sell the stocks at the end of the year and pay my credit card. It was crazy, man. Crazy idea. I was like, I didn't know, like, it's financial literacy, right? I did not know what I was doing. All I know is I had a great job. Everybody respect me as a supervisor. My family is proud that I don't know, I'm gonna work for a prestigious company, nationwide UPS. Everybody's proud. And then I let that got to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can I lose a job so great? You know what I'm saying? And I had nightmares about it too before I was fired. Like, I might lose this job. And it happened and it shocked me so much. But here's a good thing about me, right? I'm not afraid to take other challenges. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid, or I don't overthink things. And like I say in the other interview with Dion and Mike, I was too stupid to think. All I know is if this is gonna happen, if this is gonna work, it's gonna work. Let's just try it. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But we gotta try anyways. And that's how I conquer my own demon. Because you always have that demon in your head telling you, hey, this might not be for you, man. It's too much. Because out of your comfort zone. A guy who knows nothing about real estate is gonna learn about all the real estate has to offer. How to close on by yourself, how to record a document by yourself, a memorandum, how to read a title in document, how to negotiate a contract. You know what I'm saying? Like all these are different to me. How to talk to an attorney. You know what I'm saying? And I could actually do my own closing if I wanted to now. That's crazy, right? But
No, I love it. So what I'm kind of hearing too is the journey didn't really start with, I would say, your traditional buy and hold long-term renter. It kind of started with wholesaling. Is that correct?
yep, wholesaling.
Can you touch on that? Because I haven't done any wholesaling type of thing. So I really, I can't really speak on that. But can you give my
So
audience a little background on wholesaling?
yeah, so wholesaling is the meat and bone is like, when you buy, let's say you go to Costco, right? And you buy a large amount of steak, right? And you tell Costco, hey, listen, I'll give you, it's the bill is $2,000. I tell you to Costco, hey, I'll give you $200 right now. I'll give you the rest 2 weeks from now. You know what I'm saying? During that 2 weeks, you take that $2,000 steak, you sell for $3,000. You sell that $3,000, you take the money, you go back to pay Costco. You know what I'm saying? So basically, is you borrow from Peter and you sell to Paul, right? So that's what basically the concept of wholesaling. You put the house under contract at a set price, right? Like $200,000, and it will sell for 300. You find a buyer that was buy for 300 or 250, right? Either you assign a contract to the buyer or you close on it and then you sell to the buyer the same day. You know what I'm saying? Different strategy of wholesaling. So my main cream of the crop was I was wholesaling to the MLS people, like retail buyer instead of investors, and that's where you make the most money. You know, and wholesaling. The great thing about wholesaling is why you should start out as wholesaler is you get to comp properly. You get to understand the market better than anybody. You know what I'm saying? You do all the research because you want the best price. You know what I'm saying? And you know what the market will pay for. And you learn about, repairs. You learn about, loans, how people get loans, what kind of loan they have. You learn everything there is about real estate transaction, how to structure a contract, how to negotiate, a better price, how to renegotiate after the contract is signed. You know what I'm saying? All that's wholesaling. You know what I'm saying? And how to talk to people and understand, where's the motivation is so you get the best deal for yourself. At the same time, know how to talk to people and, become, we call it a professional. All started with wholesaling for me.
I love it. I love it. I mean, like I keep telling people, there's so many ways to get started in real estate. Like you're saying, there's wholesaling, there's fix and flipping, there's the Burr method, there's the boring buy and hold, you got short-term rentals, but I love it. You just got to get
House
started.
hacking.
Yeah, house
Yep,
hacking,
house hacking.
exactly.
I
Yeah,
think house
and
hacking is the easiest way to start. You know.
yeah, I mean, so what I'm hearing too is with all your success, has your family now jumped on board with what you're doing?
Oh, they understand now. They understand a lot now. It's funny, right? In Asian culture, you have to prove yourself to them. They're always skeptical. They're skeptical about everything. You know. It's like the first thing in their mind was, "What happened? You fail. What happened when you fail? You know, if you fail, what's going to happen to us?" But they never think of the other side of they always see the glass half empty. I always see the glass half full, you know, and that's how I separate from my family. Like I'm the black sheep in the family, bro. I'm telling you.
But so are they all piggybacking on your system now?
Oh, so great news. My younger brother Terry, he joined PACE program like last week. So he's on board. He's like he see my success. And because of his job that's killing him right now. That's why he's moving on. He hates his boss. He hates his job. He see me make a deal that equals 10 years worth of his life on that job. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, fuck this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm tired of these people telling me how to be a physical ed teacher and all these curriculum, all these things, there's all these hinder. And I told him, listen, if you really want to help kids be a physical education, you can open your own gym later on. You can open your own professional, career center or after school program for kids, whatever. You could become a much better than that, but you need money. Money runs the
Yeah,
world. You just have to understand that,
yeah.
you know? Yeah. So he's on board. So yeah, him is right now. My sister, me and my sister, we're partner and everything, but she's like taking her a while to get in there, you know?
Hey, that's awesome that somebody jumped on board and piggybacking off of your system that you had this impact on them. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I kind of want to transition a little bit because I want to kind of get to the meat and potatoes of, why I really wanted to interview you. And let's talk about your portfolio. But so are you using a property manager or are you self-managing these properties?
Yeah. So I recently fired my property manager. I had him for maybe since 2021 early. So 2 years almost I had him 2 years, right? Uh it's not through no fault of his own. It's me. It's not his fault that that the property is managed. I let that happen. Like I say and everything. You look into yourself and you find out are you what happened, what went wrong. And I look deep into myself and everything I do. When the deal falls apart or when things go sour, it was me. I allow him to become who he is because I let him do what he wants to do. So I had to let him go because I was paying him a commission that all all he did was collect rent. And I'm like, you know what? I can do that too, but better. you know. And I let go and I self-manage now. I joined the lumberjack landlord what you call it property management course, and it's been great. It's been a great journey. It's still going right now. I'm still learning, but I'm not stressing out at night thinking, no, why didn't he pick my phone call? Why didn't he sign the lease the way I want him to sign? Why did he not build him back for the water? It's a single family. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to upset him because I don't want him to lose him. But I need to man up, and that's what I did. I need to let him know that hey, I want my unit back because it's my fault that things go the way it is.
That's awesome, because so I invest about 4,000 miles away, and you have me thinking about doing this whole self-managing thing also, because we always talk about it how your property manager, maybe he takes 10% off of the gross rent, but if you really break it down from the net profit, he's probably taking closer to 25-30% of the profit, and you can
Yeah,
actually save a lot of money there. So as far as like I know you said you kind of just started this process, but what would be maybe the maybe the biggest challenge you feel of trying to do the self-managing portion of it?
Organization. I would say organization is the biggest thing because you have to be very organized and respond to your tenants, professionally, even though, a lot of time they're not. You gotta be organized enough to know that, you cannot let things get out of control and then stress yourself out. If you're organized, you'll be fine. If you're not organized, then you're all over the place. And you're gonna say the wrong thing, you're gonna tick off the wrong tenants, and it's gonna be downhill from there, you know. Be organized so that you can be professional.
So, did you take the entire portfolio, 67 units, I believe, all at one time? Or
Oh
you
no.
kind of,
Yeah, so he was only managing 28 of my 66 units. I had the other one managing by myself because I tested out. So yeah, I tested out before I even joined the lumberjack market, the thingy. I was doing it by myself with the other property with the other handyman. And it was going okay. It was going well and everything. Then when I joined lumberjack, I'm like, yeah, this is a no-brainer. I'm doing it. I had the idea to transition already. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel I have no control over I have no control over my units, my 28 units I have with him. You know, he was a nice guy and everything, but he was unorganized. And when you're unorganized, you cannot do what I want you to do, ask you to do. You know what I'm saying? Like he should be doing things that as a boss instead of as an employee. But he's working himself on everything, and that's what I learned from him. And like I learned to be organized, even though I had to pay somebody to do the work. It's not me being there stressing myself out. You know what I'm saying? So I have everything. I'm trying to create a system right now so that the system itself will work when I'm not even there. You know, so that's what I'm trying to do right now.
I love it, man. This is a great story, great journey. I mean, are you, with the size of your portfolio now and you're self-managing, are you still wholesaling and looking for deals and what are you currently working on?
Wholesaling, fix and flip, and buy and hold. Whatever the deal comes, I don't discriminate. Money, man.
So, kind of, I know we talked about this, off camera too. So, your portfolio, do you have any, are they all strictly long-term tenants? Are you doing any short-term rentals, any lease options? Like, what kind of strategies do you have in there?
So all my single family, I'm doing something called rental on lease option for my tenant. Most of my single family. It's a very advanced strategy. I don't recommend any newbie to do it. You gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know the numbers really well. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a good criticism. And when you pick these rental on tenants, you gotta know what to say to them, what set the expectation up front. Because I had to evict two of them beginning when I first started. You know what I'm saying? And she was gone back in 2022, back in October, and she destroyed my place. Like literally took everything in the house except the fridge and the stove. So kind of her, you know what I'm saying? But you know what? I cleaned the place up. I had to put a back rent on again for another tenant with a handyman. You know what I'm saying? And I pick another one, and the other one's good right now. And because I learned from my lesson. So you gotta be able to stomach, rental own because there's gonna be people who is evicted. But here's the good thing about rental own is, and the lease option is, they put down a good down payment, a sizable down payment. That give you enough leverage. You don't use that money. I learned now not to use that money because I did use that money to buy other properties. But I learned now to keep that money on the side in case I need to evict them and pay the mortgages extra every month. And you gotta be disciplined. I wasn't. I wasn't disciplined. I was taking that money and buy other properties and I keep rolling it. That's why I got 67 units so fast. But now I'm in the stage where I'm stabilizing everything, evicting people, that not the single family one, it's the multi-family one. That's funny, right? I thought I had to evict more single family people. No, but they pay the rent a little late, but they pay, and I don't have to do any maintenance, any lawn. And you up here in the Northeast, it's snow removal. They do that too. You know what I'm saying? And they pay their own water, they pay their own electric. So it's like rent to own lease option is like the best thing for single family people trying to invest in single family.
That's awesome. I mean, it sounds like, and I think, everybody that I interview and who's doing this real estate journey, that it's not all, it's not a smooth and easy process. Everyone is constantly learning. And it sounds like you've made mistakes and you've learned from it. But if a newbie was to start and reach out to you, and what would be kind of like your number one advice to help them get started?
Mindset. Sound cliche, but it's very important. The will to not give up. The will to not blame other people. You know what I'm saying? The will to understand that mistakes is part of my journey. I'm gonna make mistakes. It's okay. Forgive yourself, learn, and move on. Because if you don't have that kind of mentality and mindset, you will give up. You will fail. You will blame everybody around you. You know what I'm saying? And then you go back to square one again. Then you're gonna look into another shiny object and you think that's the next best thing, and you're gonna repeat the same thing because you haven't changed your mindset. So that's my advice for any beginner there. Know that you know your end goal. There's a light in the tunnel, but work diligently at it. Do not let your mind screw you up. Your demon, the inner demon. I always say that. Everybody, your worst enemy is the person you stare in the mirror. Yeah, because that person will tell you to stop. That person will eat you alive at home and at night. That person will block you from progress. And that person will be comforting you, telling you that it's not your fault, it's everybody else. You know what I'm saying? That person will lie to you. And you got to conquer it, conquer that person.
I love it. So it's funny you mentioned that, because I was just before our interview, I was scrolling through Facebook and in some of the groups that I'm in, and there was a newbie investor. He posted his journey. He's like, I my first deal or whatever, I lost 30K, and I'm now got a side hustle part-time job on the weekends to get myself out of this debt that I got into, but it's just part of the process. And that's the mindset that, like you're saying, you got to push through it. You got to see the end goal, but we've all made mistakes. We're all still learning. And yeah, mindset is super important in this journey.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, I get lucky. I say to myself, I get lucky all the time because I do not think like other people. You know what I'm saying? I take action and then I adjust. Other people think of all the scenario, like everything 360 before they take action. Me, I see freaking 20 degrees. I'm like, you know what? I see the angle. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? And then I adjust as I go. Okay, I need to open up another 40 degrees here. Or I need to close this 20 degrees here. I adjust as you go. And, just like every newbie investor, right? Just jump in, do it. You adjust as you go. But remember, don't give up. Everybody else that come before you didn't give up. You know what I'm saying? They failed tremendously. I've still failed today. Some of the conversation I have, I was like, I'm like, did I say something wrong? You know what I'm saying? And I reflect back all the time on every conversation. I think that that could be better on. And you never stop, growing. You never stop learning because real estate is like I would say like the limitless tunnel. You never stop. You just keep growing and learning and growing and learning. And that's the beauty about this about real estate. You know.
Let's touch on that a little bit, talking about, the journey and limitless. And so what is your, end game look like? Are you looking to get to, 100 property or 100 doors, 500 doors? Like what is the end game for you?
Yeah, 500 units. You know what I'm saying? It could be two buildings next time. I get to 500 units. You know what I'm saying? We don't know, but my end goal is 500 units for now, and that should give me like I would say clean 100,000 a month, net after all expenses paid, you know, and that's when I could do my whatever I want to do, like doing charity work or travel, just financial freedom to choose what you want to do. And and I know to get there, I need to have a good system. So I'm building the system right now. As I'm talking to you, I'm already arranging my contractors, what units to work next. They're hungry for more work. I'm hungry to get more units up, you know. And it's just I gotta put my head down right now and just suck up. They have to pay every month. Make the money coming in is gonna go out. It's gonna go in and go out to invest in a better, make the unit better, make the property better, and it's gonna be churning until maybe next year. We'll have this conversation and I'll give you all my numbers.
Yeah, we talked about that, so is what you're saying, right now with 60 or 66, 67 units, are you kind of like you're saying, do you know what your number, like your net cash flow is per month?
No, not at the moment. I'll be lying to you if I say yes, because all I'm doing right now is I'll rearrange, stabilizing the rentals, knowing what unit I need to increase rent on, what tenants I got to evict, consolidating all the debt right now to refinancing. So I'm pretty unorganized right now, but I will get organized. And by the time, maybe this time next year, I can give you all the numbers, every number you want, you know. Like I said, I dive headed into this real estate rentals. I like this number look good beginning. Let's do it. Let's just get the good deal, get the good deal, get the good deal. And that's how I scaled up so fast. But then same time, now I know like, okay, not every deal is good now. You know what I'm saying? You have the money to choose. And that triplex, man, it looking great. You know what I'm saying? And we're probably gonna close on a 2 duplex next week. And the cash flow is tremendous. Tremendous.
Wait. So the duplex or the two duplex you're talking about, is that the deal the other night, what you're working on, or this is another deal?
There's another deal. There's
Oh,
two other
okay.
deals. So we had this seller. He told me two duplex coming up. One at 70,000, one at 52,500. Right. The 52,500 is making 1,500 a month. The 70,000 is making 2,500 a month. You know what I'm saying? Do the math. I have a private lender that's going to fund 100% both. My closing cost for each probably 6,000. You know what I'm saying? So do the math. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I learn now that when those rent comes in, they stay in the bank account until I refinance. Once I refinance, then I know how much money I'm gonna make. You know what I'm saying? But at the moment, we're looking at it, $6,000, 1,500 a month. I'll probably get my money back within 4 or 5 months. So it's the other money. So cash on cash return for me is like I would not do a deal 30% or less. It has to be cash on cash return is 30% or more. And most of my cash on cash return right now, I'm not bragging, is more than 100% most of the time because of all these owner financing and Burr with the private lender who's funding 100%. All I gotta do is pay out the closing costs, and I built that trust with my private lender.
Yeah, I think I remember you touching on that a little bit when we talked earlier. So your private lender, that relationship was built from the wholesaling in the beginning, or how was that built again?
Yes, it was from the wholesale in the beginning. He was my attorney, and he represented me on a couple of deals when I sell, because the wholesaling is you get a contract with a seller, right? And that I was no attorney. I actually got to negotiate with no attorney, and this New York's an attorney state. But the way I explained to a seller, and I get to negotiate the terms. So I buy with a seller, no attorney. But when I sell to the buyer, I need an attorney because the buyer won't use, but buyer will always use the attorney. You know what I'm saying? So he became my attorney, and he see the deals I was making, and my commitment to every deal I do. And he's like, I'm the real thing. So he started telling me that he's a hard money lender too. So if I need to fund any deal, just let him know. I'm like, why didn't you tell me earlier? You know what I'm saying?
He was
He was like,
watching you. Yeah, he was
yeah, he was
watching you.
watching me, yeah. And and when I got that 5 properties, I asked him to fund the whole thing. He's like, "You crazy? Nobody fund you 100%." I'm like, "But it's only 40,000 a unit, man. Come on." He's like, "No, I'll try to get you 190." I'm like, 190, okay. He ended up giving me 185. So I had to bring 15 in, and another $23,000 closing costs. So it's like about 39,000, right? 38, $39,000 closing costs, you know, with 15,000 down. We got for the 16 of the five properties. Yeah. So yeah, wholesaling is when I saw my private lenders. But here's the thing, though, right? I got lucky with him because he see what I do, and he follow me because I hire him for every deal for a thing. But I didn't have to try so hard to find a private lender. With a newbie investor, you wouldn't have to, I would say start with your inner circle, your friends and family around you. Right? You ask them, I learned it from a lot of podcasts too, because I listen to real estate podcasts a lot. Steve Trang, what do you call that? Pace Morby, Max Maxwell, all these Jamil Demji, all these people, Cody and Christian. When you pitch for a private lender, do not ask them directly. Indirectly ask them, hey, do you know anybody who would be interested in making 10% on their money? You know what I'm saying? Do you know anybody, that willing to want to invest and make some extra money on the side? They don't have to do anything. And I found that's really good because people actually like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? And you get intrigued. You
The
never
fear
should
of,
ask them
yeah,
directly.
yeah, the fear of missing out, right? They're thinking,
Yeah,
hey, what? Yeah.
yeah. No, not
But
even that, but because you don't ask them directly, they don't feel the pressure that you're trying to target them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
I bet your private lender though today would fund you 100% though, probably, right?
everything under 100,000.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because
Yep.
he sees what you're doing, and I know I introduced you, and I know we were kind of joking about it, like the man, the myth, the legend. But I mean, like we were talking about, like we kind of follow some of the same channels and podcasts. And I see you in the chat rooms, but like I said, you just kind of came out of nowhere, and then everyone's like, oh, who's this guy? And then everybody's amazed at what you've accomplished and what you're doing, and I just love your story and your journey and your mindset. I'm glad we were able to connect, and like we had to cancel because you had this deal you're working on, and
Yeah. Sorry about that.
no, like I said, man, you're constantly hustling and working, and I love it. And I kind of also want to touch on, you kind of already talked about some podcasts and some people that you follow, and maybe the course that you signed up for in the beginning. But is there like maybe any book or podcast that you could follow that you haven't mentioned yet that could help a newbie investor with mindset or just getting started?
Yeah. So the book I recommend by reading is 3 Feet from Gold. Basically, the beginning of the book, they're talking about, somebody who bought a gold mine and land, and he kept digging, 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 digging. And in the end, he gave up. And he was literally 3 feet from striking gold in that tunnel and then in that digging site. But the story wasn't like that. That was just the beginning, telling you. But it's just letting you know that, it's like don't give up. The main thing is don't give up. It's there. You just gotta keep grinding and grinding and grinding. You know what I'm saying? Ask people for help. Seek out, advice. Don't be afraid. You're not on the island by yourself. You know, Rising tides lift all boats. And just have that mindset, that people out there are not timid. They're not that, they don't have that scarcity mindset. Investor out there, some of them are really shady, some are really bad, but there's good one too, who understand your journey, that you new, and that you need help, and that's why you're seeking help, and you're not timid, and it showed them that you're willing to try, and then when they give you, something to do, advice, whatever, take action on it, you know, do it. Just don't think about it. Don't ask 3,000 questions on that action, because the investor's like, I don't have time to answer all these questions for you. do it, and then you see what happened, and then you come back to me, see what's going on, take action, you know. And that's what that book is. That you read a book and you understand that people, you have to look at life at a different in a different perspective.
Can you imagine, what would have happened if that person in the beginning called you back a few days later?
Dude, every every now and then I think about it. I'm like, had he called me 2 days later, I imagine what my journey would have been. I would have been stuck to a 9 to 5 job. Actually, it was like 5 in the morning to like 7 o'clock at night, because like a 2 hour drive each way, you know, and there's no parking, so I have to pay for parking. It's like it's vicious cycle, man. Everything happened for a reason. This is like my main line to everything happened in life. You had to pick, what reason is that? Is it a reason for you to move on? Is it a reason for you to stop? Is it a reason for you to seek help? Whatever it is you gotta do, those reasons will shift you to a different direction that's telling you that you should go where you think that your life should be, because you're unhappy, or you're stuck in one place. You know, I got fired, right? I almost got to that job. I didn't. Life insurance, lucky I saw it. I didn't want to do it. And then real estate, it came in on YouTube, you know. But I didn't watch like 300 videos. I watched like 2 or 3 videos of my mentor, and I just joined his program, you know. And it's just uh analysis paralysis is your enemy, right? Everybody say that too, you know. And I think that it's pretty much true now for me.
I love it. And you have awesome information, and you're super helpful. And if, let's kind of go into this little selfless promotion opportunity for yourself. If someone, wanted to reach out to you, have some questions for you, or maybe bring you a deal, like how can people reach out to you?
Yeah, so Instagram, Facebook, right? Instagram, D Thai only, right? DTHAI is my last name, and only number 30. That's me. I'm probably gonna change back to Dung Thai, but right now it's D Thai only 30. And you can see my Instagram photos and the pictures of my journey, And yeah, if you need any advice or any common question, just reach out to me. I might not be on it all the time, but when I get to it, I'll get to it. But I will not ignore you if I know that the question is important enough. I've been there. I've done it. So
Yeah, reach out to him. I mean, look, it's a Friday night. He could be out, but he's here talking about real estate, trying to help other people get started, help people with mindset. But thank you for taking time on a Friday evening. I know you're trying to work on a lot of deals, but before I let you go, and I like to ask all my guests, as you can see, all the superheroes behind me. That's kind of one of my things now with me and my son. But we kind of talked about this earlier, so you have a little spin on this, and it's going to be interesting. But so, is there any like superhero or like superpowers that you think help you in this mindset or this real estate journey that you're on?
uh, I think we asked this question before. We did. I said the same thing I was saying back then until now. It's just the will to not give up. You know what I'm saying? The will to not give up. It's like every superhero out there. You are a superhero yourself. A superhero will never give up. So that's probably me. The guy who never give up. I don't have any special power. I don't have any special ability, but I have one thing: is my mind is very strong. I don't give up. There's a lot of things that could happen, but yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, so be your own superhero, and you don't have to mimic anybody, but you want to be somebody that's fine with you. But for me, it's just being myself and the will not to give up. That's my superpower.
I love it, man. I love it. And like I said, thank you again for taking time out on Friday evening to join me. But to our audience out there, my audience out there, please like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and just keep doing the work, and just keep looking for all those great deals out there. And I'll talk to you again, Dung Thai. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Man, it's great. I'm always happy to be on your show and talk to your audience, and people reach out to you. And it's great what you're doing right now, man. Keep doing it, you know. Interview all these people like me and everybody else. Tell the journey is to inspire people. And I appreciate that, man. You know.
Thanks, man. Thank you. We'll talk again, man.
Take care. Take
Bye,
care.
man.
Goodbye.
Okay, bye.